Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Elrinth, the first boss, and today we're gonna format some 3.5-inch floppy disks for Japanese retro computers on a modern computer. So first of all, you need a Mode 3 USB floppy drive. Mode 3 means 1.44 megabytes, 1.25 megabytes, and 720 kilobytes. You can find a USB floppy drive such as this one on eBay at around $10.
I'll buy it at a high price.
There's a couple of other models and I'll show them here. Then you're going to need writable floppy disks. For the MSX you could use MF2-DD disks, and for the FMTowns, PC98 and X68000 you'll be using the MF-2HD disks, the standard normal DOS disks. First up, on a modern computer, if you're on Windows 10 like me, you're gonna need to install a virtual machine system such as Ubuntu. And we're gonna do that just now. Let's go. So here's my computer. Open up a web browser and enter VirtualBox's webpage. As I'm on Windows, I'll click the Windows hosts link. Also, download the expansion pack. Then we're going to Ubuntu's webpage to download Ubuntu. We just hit the green download button. Now while Ubuntu is downloading, we can start the installation for VirtualBox. So go to your download folder and click the VirtualBox installer executable. Just hit next, finish. Once installed, it should automatically start. And we're on the tools section, so we can click this preference button. Then you should go to the extensions part and click the add button. Now you can see it only accepts files named .vboxextpack. For some reason, VirtualBox doesn't name the file with that extension when you download it, so we just rename it accordingly. Now you can select. Then we agree with the terms. It's now installed and we're ready to create our virtual machine. So we click New, select Ubuntu 64-bit, select a directory on our computer, give it a name. In my case, I give it more RAM, which you don't need since we're going to be doing very basic things. Then we create a virtual drive for it, and we're ready. So now we start our VM. We need to select an install ISO now. We're still waiting for the Ubuntu installer ISO to finish downloading, so I'm going to fast forward now. So now that we have the Ubuntu ISO, we just open it and hit choose button and then click start. Now our virtual machine will continue and fire up, and it will show us the installer for the Ubuntu system. So next up you select your language and then click the install Ubuntu button. Then you get to select your keyboard layout and we just hit continue. We select install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware and additional media formats. Then we hit the continue button and it will load for a bit. And in the next view you can just select install now and it will format the drive for you. Just hit continue. Now you just select your time zone, which is already correct for me here. Then you input your name and then you input your password 2 times. And then, if you like to, you can hit login automatically, which I like, and then you hit continue, and then we'll continue installing Ubuntu. Now you can hit the restart button, and it asks you to remove the installation medium, but it's done that automatically, so just press enter here. And now it will start. And there we go, we have our Ubuntu up and running. Now we're gonna close these and just hit next, and we don't want to send system information, next, and we can close that. So first thing we're gonna do is click devices and then select insert guest auditions CD image. And this is in order to make drag and drop work from your host to the guest. So we enter our password and we hit install.
and it'll install, take a bit. And once it's done, it will say running kernel modules will not be replaced until the system is restarted. Return to close this window. So we're gonna restart the Ubuntu once again. Once Ubuntu has rebooted, click Devices, then Shared Clipboard and click Bidirectional, and do the same for Devices Drag Drop Bidirectional. So now we've finished installing everything for Ubuntu, we're gonna download the format program here on Ubuntu. So we need to open a terminal. So I mouse wheel myself to the terminal and start it, and then I write sudo apt install UEFI format. And we enter our password and it will download that program and we can use it now. Next up, we go up under Devices, USB, and find our floppy drive, which we call tact in this case. So we click that and we hear the sound when a window is disconnected. Now it's connected to our Ubuntu virtual machine. So now we write sudo UEFI format -i for information. This will give us our devices, and now we can see that we have one called dev-sdb. In our case, that is our floppy drive. We just write sudo UEFI format -i/dev/sdb, and now we can see that it's our floppy drive, the FD05 pub. So now our floppy drive is ready to format floppy disks. So first up, we're gonna format a floppy for the MSX. And in order to do that, we type sudo UEFI format -f720 and the drive /dev/sdb. And it seems now it's already mounted. So I type umount /dev/sdb in order to unmount it. So we just arrow up and use our previous command. And now it starts formatting. This took me 1 minute. Then we go to MSX.org's webpage and download the game Pleasure Heart. And we go to our download folder and unzip it. Once unzipped, we just drag the file over to our Ubuntu and we open the terminal again. And we type sudo dd if equals pleasure.dsk of equals /dev/sdb. And we hit enter. Now it should be copying the game onto the floppy. And this will take 3 minutes. And now that our MSX floppy is ready, it will still load a little bit, so just wait until it stops making noises. And then we just take out the floppy and put it into our MSX. Here we go. Here I'm using Popolon's MSX to SNES adapter with my 8-bit-do receiver and my 8-bit-do SNES controller pad. So next up, we're gonna format a couple of floppies for FMTowns. And in this case, I have the game Dinosaur downloaded. I actually own this game as well. Anyways, you type sudo UEFI format -f 1232/dev/stb. You hit enter, you enter your password, you hit enter, and it will start formatting. 1 minute later, once it stops making noises, you can type sudo dd if equals d1.hdm in this case, of equals /dev/stb, and just hit enter. And it will start copying onto the floppy. So 240 seconds later, we can eject the floppy we have and insert another floppy and copy the second game floppy onto that one. So 10 minutes later, we've copied all floppies. Now we're ready, we just eject the floppies and we bring them over to the FMTowns. Formatting 1.25 megabytes for PC98 is the same procedure as the FMTowns, so we'll just skip formatting, writing, and just show how it works. Here we go. After 15 minutes of formatting and copying, our 3 floppies are finally ready. So let's go to our PC98. Here we go. So on my PC98RA, I flipped the 4th switch, which allows me to use the external floppy drives rather than the internal ones. Just like on the MSX, I'm using the MSX to SNES adapter by Popolon and a 8-bit SNES controller and receiver. Works great. And as you can see, I own the original copy of ys3 Wanderers from ys on the PC98 as well. I actually thought my original ys3 floppies were broken, but it seems my internal floppy drive too was broken. So once I figured out how to flip the dip switch on the PC98, then I could use my dual external 5.2-inch floppy drive, and the game loaded fine there. So the game ran previously way too fast, and here I put the last dip switch back up into neck V30 mode rather than the downward position, which is X86 mode. And as you can see, switching to the correct CPU, the game runs at the correct frame rate. And next up is the X68000, and we're gonna do the exact same procedure, but this time we're gonna copy a very special game called Illumination Laser. So first we download the Illumination Laser mastering floppy image. I'll provide a link in the description. Once that is done, we simply unzip that and copy it over to our Ubuntu. Then we start our terminal and format our floppy with 1232. There we go. Five minutes later, our floppy is ready, and we're going to insert it here into our X68000 compact red zone. Once it's loaded, it will ask us to insert a floppy disk into drive 1. So we insert another MF2 HD floppy into that drive. Then we hit enter. It will detect the floppy and ask us to hit enter again to actually start the formatting. Once ready, it will automatically push out the floppy and we need to reinsert it. Then we push any key and we'll start copying files from the mastering disk onto our newly formatted special floppy. So 5 minutes later, we're finally ready with our floppy. So we eject both floppies and move the newly made game floppy into drive 0 and reboot our X68000 compact. And now it will load the game, and it's going to take a while because it's going to load a bunch of files here. So I'm just gonna fast forward this. 2 minutes later, and we got the game loaded. So check out Illumination Laser. Here we go. Oh, and hang on. Obviously, I need to get my SNES 8-bit DOE controller. Be right back, and we shall play the game. Here we go.
Yeah guys, so that's it for this episode. I hope you guys learned a thing or two about formatting 3.5-inch floppies. I sure did, and I also, while doing this, fixed my Raspberry Pi SCSI, so I can use that for my X68000. That's pretty amazing. So I've been like wanting one of those SCSI solutions for a long time, and I'd like to thank the guys over at the PC98 Discord channel. They are amazing, really good guys to ask. And I want to thank the FMTowns guys, and I want to thank the X68000 guys, and the PC98 guys, and pretty much all of these groups are amazing, really good information and really nice people. Yeah, so please like and subscribe, and leave a comment below if you have any questions. Bye guys!